So this is the timetable which we are going to follow at our YouTube channel Learn PCM, and you can see here we are going through 3 subjects. We are going to take 3 of the subjects, which is physics, chemistry and maths as per the Learn PCM. You can see the topic also, PCM, physics, chemistry, maths, and in this these three subjects you can see the days are allotted. Okay, for the Monday and Thursday we are going to have the sessions of physics, and on Tuesday and Friday the sessions of chemistry will be going on, right? And on Wednesday, Saturday, maths sessions are going to come out in the form of videos at Learn PCM, right? So stay tuned to watch all these videos, and I hope you are going to get a lot of benefits out of these videos. Okay, those who are beginners, those whose concepts are not clear, those who feel very low in their classes, they feel like they are not able to understand, they are very much welcome over there, because I'm very much sure that you are going to understand over here whatever I'm going to give to you in the video. Okay, and if in any case you are not able to understand here also, you can just go ahead, you can take your step, you can write it in the comment box, and you can convey it to me through the comment box, so that I'll be making you understand in any other ways. Okay, so let us try to go ahead, let us proceed now. And with this, hello and welcome to Learn PCM classes. We are going through a series of sessions for the chapter Force and Laws of Motion. Now we are going to start with session number 3. This is what we have done in session 2, and this is simply a look for what we have done. That is why I have opened it up. So in this chapter we have gone through the definition of force, and also we have seen that how this force of bring changes in the body. Okay, so effects of forces also we have seen in this. There are 5 effects of forces which we have gone through, and as you know, a force is just a pull and push. In the form of pull and push, you can see force around yourself in daily life, and the effect which you see around are in these forms in nutshell. That is, it brings change in the motion, it can stop a body, it can speed up, it can bring speeding. Okay, it can speed up the body. Okay, then it can change the direction of a body, and also it can change the shape and size of a body. So these are the effects of forces which we have studied under our session 2. Also we have gone with the 2 of the definitions, that is balanced and unbalanced forces. In balanced forces, what we have seen, that balanced forces are the sum total. They are having the resultant of all the forces which are acting on the body is 0 in case of balanced forces. Okay, whatever force is acting, say if you are having a body and whatever forces are acting in all the directions, then if the sum total of these forces are 0, it means that the resultant of this sum total means this resultant of these forces are if it is going to be equal to 0. In such case, we can say that these forces are acting as balanced forces. Okay, then if you are having forces in which you don't have balanced forces, I mean in which the forces are not able to balance themselves. Okay, here you can see that this push of hand and this push of this car, in both the case, push of friction and pull of friction and push of hand, both are different, whereas this and this, the gravity and the force of this ground, all these 2 forces are acting properly and opposite and equal with each other. But in these 2 cases, it's not acting equally. That is why we can say that the forces here are not balanced forces. Okay, and we call it that these are the collection of unbalanced forces. Okay, so let us now start ahead with our topic, and the topic today is Newton's laws of motion. What we are going to start today, we are going to start with Newton's laws of motion. Okay, this is session number 3, force and Laws of Motion is the name of the series which is going on. It is class 9th chapter which is going on. Okay, and this is session number 3, right? This is session number 3. Learn PCM is the name of the YouTube channel which you are watching, and I hope if you are new, if you have not, I hope you have subscribed the channel. But if you are new and if you have not subscribed, and if you feel like you are going to get some other thing out of here, I hope you are going to subscribe the channel. Okay, now let us start. What actually is laws of motion? See, we have discussed about laws of motion in our previous chapter, motion, the very first series which we have completed. But here we are talking about Newton's laws of motion. What we are talking about? Newton's laws of motion. Now, what is actually Newton's laws of motion? What are these laws? What is there in this, that Newton actually was a scientist, and he has given 3 laws to describe the motion of the bodies. What he has given? He has given 3 laws. Okay, Newton has given 3 laws to describe what? To describe the motion of a body, to describe the motion of a body. Okay, now when he talks about the motion of a body, and since it is described by Newton, that is why we call this as Newton's laws of motion, right? Now Newton's laws of motion, actually it gives a precise definition of force. Okay, the Newton's laws of motion, what it gives? It gives precise definition. Okay, it gives precise, it means you can say definite or proper. Okay, accurate. Precise means accurate. So it gives precise definition of force. Okay, and also not only this, it also provides a relationship. Okay, you can say it gives relationship between the force applied, on it and the state of motion acquired by it, a body. Okay, see why I have written this, because it will be clear to you that we get actually 2 of the things out of this this law. Okay, these laws, not only this law, these laws. See, these laws are given by Newton. Actually, this is related to motion of a body, and it actually gives precise definition of force. Okay, Newton's laws, they give precise definition of force, and it also gives relationship between the force and the force which is applied on the body and the state of motion which is acquired by the body. As soon as the force is applied, the motion of the body is going to change. So this state of motion which is going to be acquired by the body, in this and the force, there is a relationship which is given by Newton. Okay, so we are now going to discuss about the Newton's first law of motion. So we are going to discuss first law of motion, and also what are the important applications of first law of motion, that we are going to discuss today. Okay, so let's see. So here we are there with the Newton's first law of motion. Before starting with this, I would like to ask you a question, that you must have seen around yourself that some of the bodies are at rest. Okay, and some of the bodies are in motion. Okay, you can see that some of the bodies, some of the objects, some of the substances, they are lying there at just as such. They are lying in stationary position, whereas some of the bodies, some of the objects, some of the substances, they are in motion. Example, a moving car, you can see that it's running. Okay, it's moving. A book lying on the table, it is stationary. In fact, if I'm going to keep this here, you can see that now it is okay, just a minute. You can see here this pen. Okay, now it is moving. Okay, if I keep it here, is it in motion? No, it's moving. Okay, until and unless what? I'm going to touch it. It will not move until and unless I touch, right? Similarly, that this notebook, this which is lying over here, it is in a rest position. It is a stationary. It's not moving at all. Okay. But if suppose I'm just, you can see here, now this is in motion, isn't it? This sketch pen, you can see, is in motion now, isn't it? Now, why is this so? What actually is the reason behind it? See, students, one fact you should know is that there is a reason behind everything. Okay, there is reason behind, there is a cause behind everything, and we should, being a student of science, you should or we should always try to reason it out, that what is the reason, what is the cause behind the things which are around us and we see around us. There is always a cause. Okay, this is what the scientific view says. Okay, we should always try to find out what is the reason behind the things which are happening around us, what is the logic behind the things which are happening around us. So similarly about this, that how does the things which are in rest and the things which are in motion, how is it possible that they are, what is causing them to be in the rest or in the motion? That is the first thing which came into the mind of Newton, and he has described it very nicely. His first law actually describes the behavior of such bodies. Okay, this Newton's first law, it actually describes the behavior. Let me write for you. Describes the behavior of such bodies. Okay, it describes the behavior of such bodies which are in state of, okay, which are in a state of rest or of uniform motion, right? So this behavior is given by what? This behavior is given by what? By Newton's first law of motion. Okay, so according to now what this law says now. Okay, so according to Newton's first law of motion, what this law says, let's write here, or let's understand. First law of motion. First law of motion. Now I'm talking about the statement, so that we will discuss it further. Now what is the statement for this? What is first law of motion? If someone asks you what is first law of motion, how will you describe it? How will you state it? So a body at rest will remain at rest. Okay, a body, what this law says, that a body at rest will be at rest, or you can write will remain at rest. Will remain at rest. Okay, and one more, there are 2 points. One, a body at rest will remain at rest, and second point is what? And a body in motion will continue to be in motion, will continue to be in motion. Do you feel that these are the complete statements? No. we have to complete it by writing one more sentence. And what is that? A body at rest will remain at rest. This is the first part of the statement. And second part is what? And a body in motion will continue to be in motion until and unless. Now what? How to complete these two? Until and unless. Until and unless an external force is applied on it. आ गया समझ में क्या है कि इस स्टेटमेंट को हम दो हिस्सों में बांट सकते हैं. ठीक है. फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ मोशन कैन बी डिवाइडेड इनटू टू ऑफ द पार्ट्स. It has two of the parts in it. What are the two parts? That a body at rest will be at rest, and a second part is that a body will be in motion and it will continue to be in motion until and unless these two parts are there. Then what? Then it is saying that until and unless an external force is applied on it. यानी एक बॉडी जो है वो रेस्ट में अगर है तो वो रेस्ट में ही रहेगी, और एक बॉडी जो मोशन में है वो मोशन में ही रहेगी. कंटिन्यू, इट विल कंटिन्यू टू बी इन मोशन अनटिल अनलेस, जब तक कि उस पर कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स अप्लाई ना किया जाए. For example, this notebook is lying over here. It is in the rest position, and if I want it to be if I want it to move this, I have to apply my hand pressure. I have to apply my hand force on it. I cannot ask this notebook to move from here. It's not going to move on its own. Definitely, I have to use an external force to move this notebook from here. Are you understanding? Say if I'm just moving my hands, see, you can see the gestures of my hands, isn't it? I'm moving it. How is it moving? Because it is in motion, and until and unless I apply my force, or you can say that I apply an external force on it, it is not going to stop. Okay, if my hand is in moving state, it will not stop until unless I stop it by using my force. So if I'm stopping, then only it's going to stop. Similarly, if this is there, it is lying over here, it will lie over there until unless the external force is going to be applied on it. And if you say that why it is stopping over here after some time, here it's not stopping. Say here, so you won't get here. Initially you must have seen that it was stopped, and after rolling down for a few moments it stopped. So there also an external force was applied. You can argue that why you have not touched the pen and still it has stopped. Suppose it is like this, and it is going to let us see here. Is it going to be okay? Let me see whether it is going to stop. Okay, now you can see here it is stopping on its own. I have not applied any of the external force here, isn't it? So how has this stopped here? Isn't it? How it has stopped here? It is all because of the force of friction. Here also you are having an external force which is acting on it, and due to that only it has stopped. Otherwise it would have not stopped. अगर ये smooth surface होता, अगर ये completely smooth होता या perfectly smooth होता, तो इसको हम जब तक हम इसके ऊपर ये आगे बढ़ता ही चला जाता जब तक कि इसको हम अपने किसी external force से रोक ना पाते. ठीक है. तो इसलिए हमें क्या समझना है इसमें? वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट देयर आर टू पार्ट्स ऑफ दिस फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ मोशन. द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट इफ अ बॉडी इज एट रेस्ट इट विल रिमेन एट रेस्ट. ठीक है. सेकेंड पार्ट इज व्हाट, कि इफ अ बॉडी इज इन मोशन इट विल कंटिन्यू टू बी इन मोशन. ओके, सो वी आर हैविंग टू पार्ट्स, दो पार्ट्स हैं इसके. तीसरी बात क्या है, अब इसको कंप्लीट कैसे करना है? ये तो कोई बात हुई नहीं कि हमने इतना बोल दिया कि एक बॉडी रेस्ट में है तो रेस्ट में ही रहेगी, एक बॉडी मोशन में है तो मोशन में ही रहेगी. इसके आगे का सेंटेंस क्या है? किसकी वजह से ये कंप्लीट होगा? ये सेंटेंस, ये हमारा स्टेटमेंट कंप्लीट कैसे होगा? अनटिल अनलेस एक्सटर्नल फोर्स इज अप्लाइड ऑन इट. जब तक कि ये बॉडी रेस्ट में तब तक रहेगी जब तक कि इसके ऊपर एक्सटर्नल फोर्स ना अप्लाई किया जाए. ये बॉडी मोशन में तब तक रहेगी जब तक कि इसके ऊपर एक्सटर्नल फोर्स अप्लाई ना किया जाए. अंडरस्टूड? सो दिस इज द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ मोशन, न्यूटन्स लॉ ऑफ मोशन. Okay, this is the statement of Newton's first law of motion. Okay, I should mention the name also here. It is Newton's first law of motion. This is very important to note down because we are studying Newton's first law of motion. Okay, so I hope this much you have understood. Now let us move ahead. Now what is the this tendency actually known as? What tendency is this due to which a body is remaining at rest or a body is remaining is continuing to move in motion? What is the tendency? What type of tendency is shown here? See, the tendency of what we have seen here, that a tendency of a body is to be in rest. Okay, so what we can say, that this tendency or the tendency also you can write. Let me write the tendency of a body. Okay, the tendency of a body to be at rest. टू बी एट रेस्ट. अगर कोई बॉडी पहले से रेस्ट पोजीशन में है और उसकी ये टेंडेंसी कि वो रेस्ट में ही रहना चाहती है, इस टेंडेंसी को हम कहते हैं, दिस इज नोन एज इनर्शिया. व्हाट डू वी से? इनर्शिया. वी कॉल इट एज इनर्शिया. दिस द टेंडेंसी ऑफ अ बॉडी टू बी एट रेस्ट, और इसके भी दो हिस्से हैं, और the tendency of a body to continue in motion is known as inertia. ठीक है, समझ में आया? ये टेंडेंसी, वो खास टेंडेंसी जिसकी वजह से कोई बॉडी रेस्ट पोजीशन में अगर है तो वो रेस्ट में ही रहना चाहती है, इस टेंडेंसी को हम कहते हैं, उसकी इस टेंडेंसी को हम कहते हैं इनर्शिया. क्या कहते हैं? इनर्शिया. ठीक उसी तरह से सेकेंड पार्ट के लिए कि कोई बॉडी अगर मोशन में है, इफ एनी बॉडी इज इन मोशन, इट विल ट्राई टू बी इन मोशन itself, it will continue to be in motion, and that tendency is known as, that tendency of the body is known as inertia. ठीक है, लेकिन हम इनको अलग अलग नाम देते हैं. इनर्शिया, ये इनर्शिया अलग है, ये इनर्शिया अलग है. यू कैन सी बोथ द इनर्शिया, द टेंडेंसी इज सेम, टेंडेंसी को ही हम इनर्शिया कह रहे हैं. ओके, बट दोनों ही अलग अलग हैं. क्या है भाई? पहला वाला कहता है इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट. व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट वन? इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट. एंड व्हाट इज द सेकेंड वन? इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन. Inertia of motion. So we are having two parts again in case of inertia. We are having two cases in case of inertia. One is inertia of rest and one is inertia of motion. ठीक है, one is inertia of rest, that is tendency to be in rest, tendency of a body to be in rest, and here again tendency of a body to be tendency, this both are tendencies only. Okay, उसकी उस पोजीशन में बने रहने की जो टेंडेंसी है, बने रहने की जो उसकी इच्छा रहती है उस बॉडी की, उस मतलब उसके बने रहने की जो कंडीशन रहती है, उसी को हम टेंडेंसी कहते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये हो गया इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट, इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन. अगर हम इसको डिफाइन करना चाहे तो हाउ कैन वी डिफाइन? इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट किसे कहेंगे? व्हाट इज इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट? इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट इज व्हाट? इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट मीन्स द टेंडेंसी ऑफ अ बॉडी टू remain at rest. Okay, remain at rest. ठीक है, this is inertia of rest. The tendency of a body to remain at rest, this is known as inertia of rest. And the second is what? Inertia of motion. तो इसको आप डिफाइन करिए. Try to define it. क्या होगा बताइए जरा सा. If possible, do it on, just give it in your comment section. Give the answer in comment section if you know. अगर आप जान रहे हैं, समझ पा रहे हैं, तो इसका आप कमेंट सेक्शन में आंसर लिखने की कोशिश करिए. देखिए आप लिख पा रहे हैं. क्या होगा? the tendency, again it is also a tendency, so you will write the tendency of a body to continue in motion. Okay, to continue in motion is known as inertia of motion. ठीक है, बात समझ में आ गई आपको? This is known as inertia of motion. So we are having types of inertia also, parts of inertia, you can say inertia of rest as well as inertia of motion. So inertia actually is what? It is a property, you can say. Tendency is what? What type of tendency? The property which due to which they show the tendency. Okay, inertia is actually a property of a body. Inertia is what? It is a property of a body. Property of a body. Okay, so inertia is a property of a body due to which it resists a change in its state or rest. Okay, so how to define inertia as a whole? Inertia as a whole you can define as that it is, or let me write the whole word, inertia of a body is a property of a body. I'm repeating it, but it's okay, let it be. Okay, inertia of a body is a property of the body to resist its change in state, okay, state of rest or uniform motion, or of uniform motion. See why I am using the word uniform, because if a body is in motion and if inertia of motion is acting upon the body, in such a case the body will not stop, and if there will be no uniform motion, then definitely the body is going to stop over there. It means some external force is acting on it. Okay, so here what is that inertia? What is the definition here of inertia? Inertia says that it is a tendency, it is a property of a body which resists the change. Actually it resists the change. ठीक है, ये रोकता है, रेजिस्ट करता है, एक रेजिस्टेंस की प्रॉपर्टी डेवलप करती है बॉडी. व्हाट रेजिस्टेंस? ये रोकने की प्रॉपर्टी डेवलप करती है. क्या चीज रोकने की? रेस्ट. अगर रेस्ट में है तो रेस्ट में ही रहने की कोशिश करता है, ये कोई भी चेंज महसूस नहीं करना चाहता. और बॉडी अगर मोशन में है तो वो वापस रेस्ट पोजीशन वो नहीं जल्दी से अपनाना चाहता है, वो चाहता है कि चलता ही रहे. एंड दिस टेंडेंसी, उसके ये इस टेंडेंसी को ही हम क्या कहते हैं? इनर्शिया कहते हैं. Okay, so now I hope you have got much lecture on this. Okay, and one thing more you should know, that greater the inertia of a body, greater will be the force required to bring the change in state or rest. Okay, let me write this point, that if you want to if you are applying a greater inertia, okay, if inertia is required, if a body is showing a larger inertia, it means that it requires large amount of force to change its position, है ना. अगर एक बॉडी है और इसकी ये इनर्शिया जो अप्लाई, ये अपनी ओर से जो इनर्शिया अप्लाई कर रहा है, इसकी इनर्शिया बहुत ज़्यादा है अगर, ठीक है, इफ़ इट इज़ हाई, इसका मतलब हमें फोर्स भी हाई अप्लाई करना होगा ताकि ये अपनी इनर्शिया को ब्रेक कर सके. मतलब इस इनर्शिया को ओवरकम करने के लिए फोर्स इज टू बी अप्लाइड मोर. Greater inertia requires greater force. Smaller inertia requires a smaller force. Okay, so you can write this as a point, that greater the inertia of a body, greater is the force. Greater is the force to be applied. Okay, yeah, required. Greater is the force required. ठीक है ना. इनर्शिया का काम क्या है? रोकने का काम है। ये रेस्ट में है और ये मूव नहीं करना चाहता है, तो ये रोकने की कोशिश कर रहा है। अगर ज्यादा ताकत लगाएगा इसका मतलब ज्यादा इनर्शिया लगा रहा है, और ज्यादा इनर्शिया लगा के ये क्या कर रहा है? रोकने की कोशिश कर रहा है इस बॉक्स को सपोज। और जब ये रोक रहा है तो अब हमें ज्यादा फोर्स अप्लाई करना होगा इस बॉक्स को मूव करने के लिए। इसका मतलब ग्रेटर इज द इनर्शिया, हायर इज द फोर्स। ठीक है, आ गया समझ में? ठीक है। Now let us see some of the examples of inertia of rest and inertia of motion. ये आज के लिए ज़्यादा हो रहा है या कम हो रहा है? कहीं ज़्यादा तो नहीं हो रहा है। वैसे तो अभी तक मैंने सिर्फ थोड़ा सा ही एक्सप्लेन किया है। इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट का आप एग्जाम्पल देख लीजिए और इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन के एग्जाम्पल देख लीजिए, देन विल stop over there. Okay, inertia of rest. What is the example for inertia of rest? Let us see here. See, if you are going to have a से यू टेक अ ग्लास, ठीक है, आप इसे घर पे भी कर सकते हैं, बहुत मज़ेदार है ये वाला एक्सपेरिमेंट। आप एक घर पे ऐसे एक ग्लास ले लीजिए, ग्लास टम्बलर, ओके, एंड पुट वन पेपर और अ कार्ड, यू कैन से अ वेरी दिस वन अ कार्ड, यू कैन, अ थिन कार्ड यू कैन टेक एंड जस्ट कीप अ कॉइन ऑन इट, कीप वन कॉइन, से दिस इज योर कॉइन, ओके, दिस इज योर कार्ड, okay, and this is your tumbler, right? This is glass tumbler, and you are going to do what now? Just take this card, take this tumbler, take this card, put it on the tumbler and put the coin on the card. Now what? It should be in the middle of this card, okay? Now what you are going to do? You are going to flick the card. You are going to flick only the card, like you will do like this, just the card, nothing else. You are not going to do anything with other things, simply flick the card. As soon as you are going to flick the card, what will happen? Do it on your, in this experiment you do it yourself and come up with the results, okay? I am going to ask you the results tomorrow or in the coming session, okay? Let me check whether you have done it or not, okay? So this will, I am not going to explain it to you, but yes, I'm going to do the other I'm going to give you another example, but this one, try to do it. It's going to give you some idea about inertia of rest, okay? When you are going to flick the card, what is going to happen? You have to look for that. Once you are going to do and you are going to flick the card, say the card is moving away from here, and say it is this card has moved from here, you can see that this card has moved over from here, say this is your card, okay? So if it is moving, what can you see then after that? What happens to this coin? What happens to this coin? You have to tell me what happens to this coin once the card moves from here, okay? Just try to do this experiment at home and give the answers to me, okay? Come up with your answers or find the answers, you can say find the answer. What happens to the coin? Question is what happens to the coin, what happens to the coin once you flick the card, ठीक है? फ्लिक मतलब आपने ऐसे इस तरह से ये इसको झटका से, अपने उंगलियों के झटके से इसको, अगर कार्ड को अपनी उंगलियों से ऐसे झटकते हैं तो क्या होता है? उस कॉइन के बारे में आपको बताना है कि उसके साथ क्या यहाँ पे बिहेवियर होता है, ठीक है? वो कॉइन किस तरह से अपने रेस्ट पोजीशन को क्या करता है, कैसे करता है, ठीक है? ये आपको बताना है, करने के बाद एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है उसके बाद, ओके? एंड one more example we can go with, that will be the example of inertia of motion. So let us take one more example. This is for inertia of motion. See why I am just taking out this example and I am going to leave it like such, just to make you think of it, okay? Just try to find the reason behind it, okay? For inertia of motion, what question I am going to raise here, that suppose there is a bus, okay, and a person, and it is a moving bus. Suppose you are there in a bus and it is a moving bus, okay? As you know, my drawing is so very great, okay? So here somewhere door is there, here somewhere door is there, here is the here are so many windows and all. Okay, so if it is a moving bus, this bus is in motion. Okay, so let me write here moving bus. Now you must have seen many times that when door opens up and bus slows down, actually it if a moving bus is there and if it slows down, and the persons who want to get down of the buses, they just get down of it and they ran for a little distance. ऐसे ये दौड़ने लगते हैं इस बस की डायरेक्शन में, along the direction of this bus they used to move along. Okay, वो दौड़ते हुए उतरते हैं. Isn't it? क्या आपने कभी भी देखा है कि बस चल रही हो और कोई पर्सन उसमें से जब उतरता है, तो क्या आपने कभी भी ऐसा कंडीशन देखा है कि कोई पर्सन डायरेक्टली उतर जाता है और एकदम उतरते ही खड़ा हो जाता है? हैव यू सीन एनीबडी इफ रनिंग बस इज देयर एंड और इन अ स्लो मोशन, इफ अ रनिंग बस इज देयर एंड इफ ही इज कमिंग डाउन और स्टेपिंग डाउन फ्रॉम द बस, ही इज स्टेपिंग डाउन एंड ही इज स्टैंडिंग ओवर हियर immediately. Have you seen anyone? I'm sure that you must have not seen this type of condition. This condition is seen many times. Now, what is the reason behind this? What is the reason behind this? This you have to find out. What is the reason behind this? That a person stepping out from a moving bus, okay, moving bus runs for a while in the direction of the bus, ठीक है. आपको इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर ट्राई आउट करना है, कॉज इसकी रीजनिंग को पता लगाने की कोशिश करनी है. थिंक अबाउट इट. क्या वजह हो सकती है? मैंने अभी आपको न्यूटन्स के लॉज में से पहला लॉ पढ़ा दिया. आई हैव गिवन यू द लॉ ऑफ मोशन, फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ मोशन. यू हैव टू फाइंड द कॉज ओवर हियर. ठीक है, try to find these two causes and then I'll be explaining it further. I'm going to explain tomorrow in coming session, but I want you to think about it first. Okay, that is why I'm leaving these two of the topics, these two of the examples over here only. Okay, so if we want to now conclude our Newton's law of first law of motion, to conclude Newton's first law of motion, what we have seen, Newton's first law of motion, what it gives actually. See, Newton's first law of motion gives us the definition of force. Okay, it gives us what it concludes. We can conclude that Newton's first law of motion gives us the definition of force. ठीक है, we are getting definition of force from which of the laws? We are getting the definition of force from the very first law of Newton, from the very first law of motion of Newton. And what it says, what it says, that a force is something. How it is defining the force? How it is defining the force? Newton's first law of motion, if it's giving us the definition of force, then how to define it? According to Newton's first law of motion, force is let me write here only. Force is, here I am giving the definition here, right? So according to first law of motion, force is what? Force is something, okay, it is something which is changing, okay, or which brings change, okay, which is changing the state of rest, or you can say which is changing the tendency, okay, changing the tendency of state of rest or of uniform motion. Okay, understood? What is force? How you can say that Newton's first law is first law of motion is describing force over here. Actually, it is describing. It says that this Newton's law of motion says that first law of motion. It states that force is something which changes or tends to change the state of rest or uniform motion of a body. Okay, it keeps the object in rest position, or it keeps the object in motion until any external force is applied on it. Okay, and now as you know that force is actually an influence. Force is what? Force is an influence which can produce an acceleration or retardation in a body. Okay, what second point you can write over here? That force is, this is the first point which you can mention here, and the second point also you can mention, though this is this is part of that only, it's not different, but let me write it in a point that a force actually is influence. Okay, force is an influence which affects, or you can say that it influence that produces, or that can produce what it can produce, that can produce an acceleration. Okay, it can produce acceleration or a retardation, Okay, got it? One more thing is that force actually is what? Force is, since it occurs in the direction of motion. Force occurs in the direction of motion. So it has some magnitude as well as direction. Force includes magnitude plus direction. So both of the qualities are there in case of force. It means what type of quantity is it? Your vector quantity and scalar quantity. Okay, vector quantity and scalar quantity. This we have already discussed in our early sessions, and if you don't understand what is vector quantity or what is a scalar quantity, you can move up to, you can you can go for those videos which I have uploaded in my early YouTube sessions. Okay, there I have explained what are vector quantities and what are scalar quantities in the chapter of motion, in this first series of physics. Okay, there I have explained very clearly about vector and scalar quantities. So here, as you know, vector quantity includes both the qualities, magnitude as well as direction. It means force is what? It means force is a vector quantity. Force is what? It is a vector quantity. Okay, so this is all about your first law of motion, Newton's first law of motion. There are the two things which are left by me, and those are the examples of, or you can say those are the questions which are given by me, so that you can think about these two questions and you can find out the answers. If you are going to reason it out, definitely you will be understanding the basic thing behind it. Okay, so try to put your logic on it, or try to reason about it. Why is it, what is happening with the coin, and why so? Not only what, why, what and why, what is happening here. Okay, what and why is it happening. Okay, what and why. So try to find out here what is the what condition is, what is going to happen with this coin once the card is flicked upon, and why is it going to happen like that. And here my question was that what causes this person to move along the bus when this person moves down the running bus, steps down the running bus. So again you have to give logic, give your logic behind it, or you have to reason it out, right? So That's all for today's session. It's going to be a bit longer, so I'm not going to move ahead, and we'll come up with another video in the next session. Stay tuned, keep watching. Thank you so much, and good night.